If you're wondering why I'm acting a little smug right now, it's because one of the things I had... Okay, so before I even get into this, let me just... little context here. For those of you who don't know, I do a video series called Pitch Ideas, or Pitch Meetings, where I actually pitch to you, the audience, and the authors who actually watch my channel, the ideas for fanfictions, as well as stories in general. And one of them was, of course, Mass Effect Arks. And when I did the video, many of you actually did say, oh, that would never happen. That story will never work. Ah, that's such a stupid idea. And to those of you who said that, someone actually liked the idea. Enough to do 5 chapters, and then continuing to do a certain number of chapters for each faction within the Mass Effect universe, before the events of Mass Effect 1 take place, or at least 314 incident. And all I can say is this.
Fuck you! I was right! Fuck you! I was right! Fuck you! I was right!
Ladies and gentlemen, fuck you! I was right! Mass Effect Arks is made by our buddy, our friend, Shadow Trooper. And before anyone says anything, while yes, I am helping him out with, of course, Gate Wasteland and Fallout Storyteller, along with my friend Ander and a few others, I am not attached to this project. I have no affiliation with this project, meaning I can review this and not get any goddamn flack for saying I am being biased. Because in reality, this thing presents so many awesome ideas that, dear Christ on a stick, I am happy for. So what is exactly Mass Effect Arks? Mass Effect Arks is the idea that humanity, sadly, is dying, or the world has been destroyed, so a certain number of Arks have left to the galaxy to save what is left of their species. In this case, a number of Arks were sent out, massive obelisk holding at least however many of the last generation, with an Ark Mother and an Ark Father. The first 5 chapters follow one of these Arks to the Asari homeworld of Thessia. The Ark Father, sadly, is dead, but the Ark Mother, Eve, is alive. By the way, a little bit of biblical fun. The Ark Father was Cable. Or Cain, I mean. Yeah. But the other thing is that the way the world died in their world, it was because of Old Testament God. And I'll say this now, Old Testament God is a dick. They should have gone with New Testament God, I'm just saying. But that's not all. The Asari, of course, are actually... They freaking thrive from this. They have families. And because of this, the Gaians, as they're called, are growing. They actually are accumulated into the Asari culture as well as their own culture. They even have a day of founding where each so many years basically, or each day of the founding, they celebrate Gaian culture and the new families who are being formed. The next Asari family is basically selected via lottery, and much like the Lion King, the child is chosen and given to the families. Be they embryonic, or be they fertilized eggs, or even babies themselves, or even children as old as 10, the children are given to families. But these Gaians have something special that causes the Asari culture to expand and advance more than it is, becoming less reliant on Mass Effect technology. Is it magic? Sort of. Is it some advanced form of UNSC-style technology? Sorta. What it is alchemic knowledge and alchemic chemistry, as well as alchemy.
Excuse me, what?
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, motherfucker decided to go full Metal Alchemist with an equivalent exchange or equal exchange. And oh my god, it is amazing! They actually... It is so good. It is. And these 5 chapters give us a lot to work with, as well as when Samara makes it onto the scene, and when an event happens to where not only does a child lose her mother, at least one of her Asari mothers, due to a freak storm caused by alchemy, a new order, a knightly order, is created to basically help defend the Gaians. The Order of Maidens. Much like the Justicars, however, unlike the Justicars, they are allowed to have attachment. Or at least in this case, have brothers who are to help continue their line, the Maiden line. Be they recruited into the Order or born into it, a Maiden's duty is 3 ways. And the way the author proposed it to me is if you see a Maiden in her robes with her sword, she is there to help heal. She is there to help the weak. She is there to be a motherly figure for the guidance to the goddess's teachings and to make sure that the sick are taken care of, that the hungry are fed, and that the young are nurtured. You see a maiden in her robes and armor with her sword, and by the way, the swords are literally lightsabers, except they're omni swords, meaning they're omni blades. Basically freaking Mass Effect Claymore swords. Dear God, if that's not awesome! Anyway, moving back to what I was saying. You see a maiden in her armor and robes. They are there to defend you, to protect you from any possible, things. But if you see a maiden in full armor with their faces covered, somebody gonna die! They are there on a hunt, and they shall not stop until the prey is found. The guilty has been executed in the name of the goddess. Oh dear God, I'm excited! But the big thing is that the Asari had to cut off the rest of the galaxy from these planets, making sure that nobody knows about them because they are afraid of what would happen to them. To the Asari, these are the last of their species. And they are afraid that something will happen to them that will cause them to be fully extinct. Not only that, but they have come to love them as their own sons and daughters. They will not let anything happen to these kids, and they will be damned if anything happens to them. And I love it. The Asari are essentially a monogendered society, i.e. all mothers. So, again, it's definitely something interesting. And the first city and the second city, biblical references as well. But I'm not gonna lie, this is getting interesting, but not as interesting as what happens in the last chapter. In the last chapter, they were going to reveal the Gaians to the rest of the galaxy because they felt it was time to do so. However, the Turians apparently decide to say, "Fuck you, hold my bear!" and shows that they have humans! New regiments of humans! Homunculus and golems! However, they're not called Gaians, they're called something else that I'd rather let you guys read and find out yourselves. And the Asari are pissed! Tavris literally denting a table, being pissed, and then we get a red versus blue reference because the fucking Turian counselor literally says...
I couldn't make this shit up. I couldn't make this shit up if I tried. I'm sad that I lack the talent to make this shit up.
I am excited for what is to come, but even though we're helping the author out with his other stories and trying to get him to not do such short chapters, he is trying to push the goal of 2,000 words. And he is doing better. He has said that he will be doing longer chapters in the future. And I'm not gonna lie, ladies and gentlemen, I'm looking forward to what comes next. And as always, if you want to read this thing, link down below to the Wattpad account. And if you want to help support the author, please do so. Give him some love. Leave a comment. Tell this motherfucker. Like, Seriously, this is a cool idea, and I wish more would do it. And again, I'm looking forward to the other races, because we now have to see the Solarians, well, next we see the Turians, but then of course we get to see the Solarians, the Krogans, the Geth, the Quarians. We're gonna be seeing so much, and I'm gonna love it. But, ladies and gentlemen, as always, I've been Airsoft Al, the comments Airsofter who reviews fanfictions, so you can check out fun ones yourself. And as always, ladies and gentlemen, if you want to help support the channel, consider donating to the PayPal down below. And if you, ladies and gentlemen, want to suggest pitch meeting ideas for me to discuss in another pitch meeting, or in whenever I'm able to, leave them down in the comments section down below. And if you have read this fanfiction, again, leave a comment on it, because again, Wattpad is like YouTube. Engagement is needed. And as always, ladies and gentlemen, I've been Airsoft Al, and I will see you lovely, lovely people in the next video. Till next time!
Looking for that perfect game for your gaming console? Video Game Corner is the largest independently owned video gaming store in North Mississippi, located at 1519 Highway 72 in Corinth. We are an authorized limited-run retail store and have a massive collection of retro games and game systems, and also plush toys and collectibles. We also pay top dollar for your used video games. Check them out Monday through Saturday from 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. Visit Video Game Corner in Corinth.